There is a moment in every transformation when something quietly shifts inside you. It does not arrive with urgency or force. It arrives with awareness. A calm realization that remaining the same no longer feels aligned. This is one of those moments. Before we continue, allow yourself to consciously mark this experience. If something resonates within you as you listen, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel, not as a habit but as a decision. A decision that signals to your subconscious that this moment is meaningful. This space exists for those who are ready to recalibrate their inner state. And by staying here, you are choosing that recalibration. Now allow everything to slow down. You do not need to change your posture unless it feels natural. Simply notice where your body is supported, the surface beneath you, the quiet sense of being held. Let your body register that support without effort. Take a slow breath in through your nose and allow the air to enter naturally. Then exhale gently through your mouth, releasing unnecessary tension. As you continue breathing, you may notice that your body responds before your thoughts do. Muscles soften, your shoulders relax, your jaw loosens. This is not something you are forcing, it is something you are allowing. With each exhale, your nervous system receives a simple message of safety. Thoughts may still arise, and that is completely natural. You do not need to follow them or push them away. Simply let them pass as background noise, no longer demanding your attention. As this happens, your awareness begins to turn inward, not into sleep, not into effort, but into presence. Presence is where internal reorganization begins. You may notice a subtle distance between you and your thoughts, as if you are observing them rather than engaging with them. This is the state where the subconscious becomes more receptive. Nothing you hear next needs to be analyzed or judged. Your conscious mind can rest. It has already fulfilled its role. Your subconscious understands tone, rhythm, and intention without effort. Allow this moment to feel like a quiet threshold, a transition between an old internal pattern and a new one that is beginning to form. You do not need belief for this to work. Belief requires effort. Openness allows change. Notice how your perception of time softens, how urgency fades, how your attention settles more comfortably in the present moment. This is the state where change integrates naturally without struggle. You are not here by accident. You are not here for distraction. You are here because your internal system is ready for a new configuration. Remain with this calm awareness. Everything that follows will meet you exactly where you are. And from this moment forward, the process has already begun. As you remain in this calm awareness, something subtle begins to reorganize beneath the surface. You may not notice it as an event, but as a quiet adjustment, like a system gently recalibrating itself without effort. There is nothing you need to do for this to happen. Your body already knows how to return to balance. Your mind already knows how to release tension when it is no longer useful. And your internal system is now entering a state where change does not require force. Notice how your breathing continues. Naturally, steady, effortless. This rhythm signals coherence. And coherence is the language your subconscious understands most clearly. In this state, the mind no longer needs to protect old patterns. It no longer holds familiar limits out of habit. It becomes open to updating its internal references. You may notice your thoughts feel less rigid, less urgent, as if more space exists between them. That space matters. It is where new configurations begin. From here, your subconscious starts releasing outdated associations, ideas linked to struggle, beliefs tied to pressure, emotional reactions that once felt automatic but are no longer necessary. You do not need to identify them. Awareness alone allows them to soften. Your internal system is learning a new reference point, a state where safety exists without control. where stability does not depend on effort, where expansion feels neutral instead of overwhelming. This is how reorganization happens naturally. As this continues, perception shifts quietly. You begin to relate to possibility differently. Your inner dialogue becomes calmer, less reactive, more observant. From this state, insights emerge without force. Decisions feel lighter. The body responds with subtle signals of alignment. This is regulation, not imagination. When the nervous system stabilizes, perception changes. And when perception changes, the range of available outcomes expands. You may feel a gentle sense of permission to receive without tension, permission to consider new outcomes without immediate doubt, permission to move beyond familiar internal limits. This permission is not created consciously. It appears when resistance dissolves. Your subconscious is updating how it relates to opportunity, stability, and flow. Old definitions lose importance. New ones begin to form quietly. Notice how this feels grounded and real. There is no emotional peak required, no excitement necessary, just coherence. This is the state where sustainable change begins. Stay here. Allow this recalibration to continue naturally. Everything that needs to adjust is already doing so, guided by an intelligence deeper than conscious thought. From this stabilized internal state, something important begins to happen. Not outwardly at first, but internally, in the way your system now relates to reality. When the internal environment changes, perception follows. And when perception changes, the range of responses available to you expands naturally. You may begin to notice that situations no longer feel as fixed as they once did. Problems feel less personal. Obstacles feel less absolute. This is not because circumstances have suddenly changed, but because your internal state is no longer reinforcing the same interpretations. Your mind starts recognizing options it previously filtered out. Your attention becomes more selective, less reactive, and more precise. This precision matters. It is how alignment expresses itself in practical ways. In this state, your system stops broadcasting urgency and starts emitting clarity. And clarity changes how reality responds. Opportunities are not created by effort alone. They are revealed by perception. When perception stabilizes, opportunities become visible without being chased. You may begin to notice small shifts, a conversation that feels different, an idea that arrives with less resistance, a decision that feels clearer than expected. These are not coincidences. They are indicators of internal coherence. Your subconscious now operates from a new reference point. It no longer organizes behavior around tension or lack. It begins organizing around balance and availability. This is where external movement begins, not as sudden miracles, but as intelligent sequences. Events start aligning in ways that feel orderly. Timing improves. Interactions feel more precise. Actions require less force. You are not pushing reality. You are allowing it to respond. As this continues, your relationship with outcomes changes. You are less attached to immediate proof, less reactive to delay, more grounded in the process itself. This reduces interference and strengthens results. This is an important shift. When the need to control dissolves, responsiveness increases. And responsiveness is what allows reality to reorganize efficiently. Your internal system is now sending consistent signals: safety, clarity, readiness. These signals influence how situations unfold around you. Notice how this feels neutral and steady. There is no emotional spike required, no anticipation needed, just a quiet sense of alignment. From here, movement becomes more natural. Choices feel less conflicted, actions feel cleaner, and results begin to reflect that internal order. You are now positioned differently in relation to what comes next, and this positioning matters. As this internal order continues to stabilize, Something shifts in the way you relate to value. Not just money itself, but the idea of worth, exchange, and flow. For a long time, your system may have associated value with effort, tension, or struggle. This association was learned, not inherent, and now it begins to loosen. When identity changes, behavior follows. And when behavior changes, outcomes reorganize. You may notice that your sense of self feels less tied to proving or chasing. There is less internal pressure to justify your actions, more room for clarity, more space for intelligent choice. From this state, your relationship with money begins to recalibrate. Money responds to coherence. It responds to clarity and consistency, not emotional urgency. When your internal signals stabilize, your external interactions change naturally. You may find yourself making decisions with greater precision. Spending becomes more conscious. Receiving feels less charged. Giving feels more balanced. These are signs of alignment, not discipline. Your system is learning that stability does not require control. Flow does not require force. And expansion does not require self-sacrifice. As this understanding integrates, old financial narratives lose strength. Stories of limitation, patterns of delay, beliefs that once felt unquestionable begin to dissolve quietly. This is not a mental exercise. It is a physiological shift. Your nervous system no longer reacts to money as a threat or a test. It begins to experience it as neutral energy in motion. From here, opportunity organizes differently. You may notice that financial conversations feel easier. Requests feel clearer. Boundaries feel more natural. You are no longer negotiating from tension, but from balance. This changes outcomes. When identity aligns with flow, results become sustainable. There is less burnout, less self-sabotage, less repetition of old cycles. You are not becoming someone new. You are removing internal friction that once distorted your expression. As this continues, your internal reference point stabilizes further. You begin to trust your timing. Your judgment becomes quieter and more accurate. Your actions feel aligned without being rushed. This is how coherent growth feels, grounded, ordered, calm. From this place, money is no longer something to chase or fear. It becomes something to relate to intelligently, something that moves in response to clarity, structure, and consistency. Stay with this awareness. Let it integrate without effort. Your system is learning a new relationship with value, and that relationship is now guiding what comes next. From this grounded state, the way reality responds begins to feel different. Not louder, not dramatic, simply more precise. This is how acceleration usually starts, quietly, through alignment rather than pressure. When your internal signals stabilize, your attention sharpens. You notice details you once overlooked. Timing feels clearer. Responses feel more appropriate. This is not chance. It is perception updating in real time. You may begin to recognize subtle signs. An idea that arrives without effort. A message that appears at the right moment. A conversation that opens a door you were not actively seeking. These moments do not need interpretation. They are confirmations of internal coherence. As this continues, movement becomes more intentional. You are no longer acting from urgency or impatience. You act from clarity, and clarity reduces friction. This is an important distinction. Acceleration driven by pressure creates instability. Acceleration driven by coherence creates order. Your system is now choosing the second path. You may notice that outcomes begin to stack more efficiently. Small actions generate clearer results. Delays feel less personal. Adjustments feel easier to make. This flexibility allows momentum to build without stress. Your relationship with time also shifts. You are less focused on immediate proof and more attuned to sequence. You sense when to move and when to wait. This timing intelligence is not learned intellectually. It emerges from regulation. From here, the external world begins to mirror your internal order. Opportunities align more cleanly. Resources respond more consistently. You find yourself in the right place without forcing direction. This does not mean everything happens instantly. It means things happen with less resistance. As momentum builds, trust deepens. Not blind trust, but grounded confidence. Confidence rooted in the felt experience that your system is functioning coherently. This confidence changes how you engage with uncertainty. You no longer rush to control outcomes. You remain responsive. This responsiveness is what allows acceleration to remain sustainable. You are now moving from alignment, not anticipation. Notice how this feels stable rather than exciting, calm rather than intense. This neutrality is a sign of integration. It means your system can handle expansion without overload. As this block completes, allow this awareness to remain present. You do not need to hold it tightly. It will continue operating beneath conscious attention. Everything that needs to unfold is already in motion, and what comes next will arrive through clarity, not force. As this experience reaches its natural completion, what matters most now is integration. Real change does not announce itself with intensity or emotion. It settles quietly into your system and continues operating without effort. That is exactly what is happening in this moment. Your awareness feels steady, not elevated, not heavy, simply present. This is the state where new internal instructions stabilize and begin guiding your behavior automatically without conscious control. You do not need to remember every word you heard. You do not need to repeat anything mentally. Your subconscious has already absorbed what is useful and released what is unnecessary. From this point forward, integration continues beneath the surface. In the coming moments and days, you may notice subtle adjustments. Your responses feel calmer. Your decisions feel clearer. Your reactions feel less automatic. These are not dramatic changes, but practical ones. And practical change is what reshapes reality in a lasting way. Your relationship with effort continues to soften. Actions feel more intentional. Results feel more proportional. You begin to notice that when you move from clarity instead of pressure, outcomes organize themselves with less resistance. This is coherence becoming visible. As this new internal state stabilizes, trust your pacing. There is no urgency to prove anything. No need to rush results. What is aligned unfolds with consistency, not force. Now, before we close, take a moment to consciously anchor this experience. If this episode supported you in any way, like this video, that simple action reinforces the internal state you are in right now and signals commitment to your own process. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel. Not out of habit, but because this space exists to support real internal recalibration, not temporary motivation. By subscribing, you stay connected to content designed to sustain clarity, stability, and aligned growth. As you return fully to your day, carry this state lightly. You do not need to protect it. You do not need to hold it tightly. It is already integrated. Pay attention gently in the coming days. Notice moments of clarity. Notice timing. Notice how situations respond differently when you are no longer forcing outcomes. Let results arrive without chasing them. Everything important has already been set in motion. This process does not end here. It continues through your awareness, your choices, and your presence. And from this grounded state, what unfolds next will do so with order, coherence, and precision.